Hey friends, welcome in. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. I'm Katie Mass, Director of Community at Rock Paper Coin, and you are tuned in to RPC Money Talks, our monthly webinar series where we get honest and real about what it takes to run a business today. If we haven't met before, welcome. RPC is an affordable payment platform built for small business owners across so many different business types, just like you, that's designed to make invoicing, contracts, and payments quick and easy, just the way that they should be. Before we get started, we do want to get that chat rolling. So please introduce yourself with your business name and your social handle. We love watching this community grow and helping you build new connections. We have wedding and event pros, we have coaches, we have consultants, we have marketing freelancers, and so many more creatives that are in our community. So dive in, say hi, and make some new connections today. And please, while you're at it, will you make sure that you are following us on your socials? We want to meet you and check out your business, and so does our guest today. So, okay. All right, moment of truth. It sounds like from the registration comments and questions that this topic couldn't come at a better time. Many of you are in the middle of a rebrand. Congratulations. Many of you are trying to figure out why your leads and your referrals are stalling. You came to the right place. A few of you commented on ghosting and why the conversation keeps stopping at receiving a proposal. So love to see that. And I'm here to say that y'all are in for a treat today. As you know, normally we are more of a conversational webinar where we chat back and forth with our guests. And while yes, there's going to be a little bit of chat today to get us started, most importantly, we are all going to be students while Nathalia from Viksen Creative takes us to school today. So without further ado, Nat, welcome to RPC Money Talks. How are
Thank
you
you.
doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm in Hawaii, so it's early in the morning. I'm just starting my day with everybody and my cup of coffee. But we'll dive right in.
Love it. Love it. I feel like you should have been like at the beach, like in a beach chair
I
with your sunglasses
know.
on. You
I
could do that.
know. I thought about that, just like putting a really nice like background to make everybody jealous, but I was like, no, I don't need anybody to
I,
hate me.
I think next time you need to put your coffee in a pineapple and you just need to be just like drinking it right out of a pineapple. I think that was a missed
Yep.
opportunity. Now, before we get started, I want to tell everyone the short Cliff Note version of how we met because I think that this is a little bit like truly a master class in the power of partnership and alignment and just like finding each other. So, do you want to do the honors?
Yeah. So I was working with a client who also, by the way, is here. I see your name over there, Monica. Hi. I was working with Monica, and she was the one who introduced me to Rock Paper Coin, and I was doing a rebrand for her, revamping her entire website. And when I time came to embed her form on her site, that is always my least favorite time because it never embeds easily. I always have to go in and mess with the code and change sizes and like all of that because it's just never responsive. And I had never heard of Rock Paper Coin. And then she gave me her credentials. I logged in, I grabbed the form. And when I embedded it, I was like, that's it. Like it's there, it's responsive, it's working. I don't have to do anything. That's great. So I told her that. I was like, this is insane. I was like, this is the easiest, most flawless form I have ever seen in my entire life. And she was like, so then she was like, yeah, you should tell them that. So I put it in my to-do list to find you guys on social and reach out to you. But then the universe just got to it first, and I was on threads. And then I saw you, Katie, talking about rock, paper, coin. So I was like, oh, who's that? So then when I saw your title, I was like, okay, I have to tell her that from the other side, like as a web designer, like this was so great. Like keep up. So I sent her a message and I was like, hey, just want to let you know that the way you guys built your form and the way it embeds is so great. And she was like, "Oh my God, let's chat more." I was like, "Cool."
Yeah, and now we're
And
besties. Like
now we just email back and forth every week.
I know. We've been in the works with this webinar for quite a while, perfecting it and just making sure that it was going to be really, really something that was just going to be so great for everyone to walk away from. And now that we're here, I'm sad. Like now we're going to have to get another one on the books because you're like not going to be in my inbox every day anymore. But
Maybe I'll
seriously,
just pop up. Be like,
yeah,
hi,
yeah.
checking in.
I love it. We'll be on Threads. Come join us on Threads. Join the
Yes.
conversation, everybody. Yeah, seriously, so fun. I mean, it's a great reminder of you never know like where a connection is going to come from and like also just how important what you do might be to somebody, So tell someone. Like if you have a great experience, like just tell someone. It'll make their day and it'll make them so happy. And now you're an amazing friend to RPC and you're stuck with us forever. So thank you for being
I'm
here.
fine with that.
Okay, before we get started, I see Sari, she's in the chat. She is going to drop some questions in the chat that we would love for you, our attendees, our audience, to answer. Make sure, though, your settings are changed to chat with everyone. Sometimes some fall through the cracks. We try to change that setting for you, but sometimes I don't think it changes for everyone. So make sure that that is set to everyone, not just hosts and panelists, so that we can see all of your replies. So she is going to go ahead and start dropping those questions into the chat. In the meantime, while people are answering those, I'm going to ask you a couple questions before you kick off your presentation. And I've got just a couple here, but I think that it's a good segue into what you are going to be sharing with us. So let's start with the hard truth. You say pretty doesn't equal profitable. This is such a creative industry. So it makes sense that most pros think that every part of their business needs to be pretty, but maybe they don't think past that creative vision part. Like it's just so easy to get stuck there. What are business owners actually hoping that a new website will solve?
Their entire problem. No, I think that um, people are just hoping that a new website is going to instantly make them more bookable. And it makes sense because the logic behind it is like, if I have a website, I'm legit, then people are going to, the service is going to sell itself, period. But it doesn't quite work like that because as we're going to talk about it, the website can look legitimate, it can look beautiful and still generate zero increase because while you might look legitimate, if you're not being built on a way that converts people, that drives people to make a decision quickly, then things are just not going to move.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like this whole process is not inexpensive. Website design, rebranding, templates, none of it, when done correctly, is
That's what I always say. You do it right, you ain't got to do it twice. That's when
right.
it get expensive. You got to, if you do it wrong the first time and then you got to redo it and then you got to redo it. So, yeah.
Yeah. And this might go a little bit more with that first question too, but why do you think so many people spend thousands redesigning their website only to find themselves in exactly the same place 6 months later?
I think naturally people get hyper focused on those small details of like, oh, let's get like these specific like custom icons or brand colors or fonts, and then they skip through the actual like foundational strategy that goes underneath it. And I always tell people like, yes, your design matters. Like obviously you want to have something that is visually appealing, but you want that design to be driven by the strategy and not the other way around. So if the actual website is not built with a clear job and makes people take action, then once the hype of the new website passes, you're just back into the same exact spot of, okay, I have the same problem. It's a prettier problem, but I still have the same problem.
Yeah. Yeah, so true. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for what you're going to dive into. This is going to be so great. Okay, last question here. What's the biggest myth the wedding industry believes about websites?
Um, I think because everything is so pretty related to wedding, people get lost on the image and that they think that a portfolio is going to do the whole job for you. And if you show enough pretty pictures of your work, you're going to convince the couples and your pitch is going to be made for you. But there's two big problems with that. One is you're in an industry where all of your competitors have amazing pictures, right? So it's
Mhm.
like having amazing pictures is kind of the least you can do. And the second thing is beautiful is subjective.
Yeah.
So if you're not telling the couple why you're a good fit, why you're worth their investment, or how they're gonna feel after they work with you, then they're just not going to make the decision. Like the photos prove that you can do the work, period, but they're not going to convert on their own if you don't actually have a clear job for your website and a clear conversion path.
Yeah, and long gone are the days when like pretty pictures in a blog post were going to literally book you in an instant.
Yeah.
Like that, those were the days. Those were the days, but those days are long gone.
Yeah.
So you got to go at a completely different angle. Well, let's look in the chat real quick. We did get some responses, which is great. Don't forget, Sari did drop a couple of questions for anyone who just joined us. Sari did drop a couple questions in the chat if you want to take a peek at those and give an answer. And then is there anything here that stands out to you? And let's see. So we've got a little, last time your website was updated, we not for a couple years, about a month ago, looked at but not updated. So honest. Constantly love, love. That's great. Um, yeah, let's see. I just updated recently. I changed my contact form. I don't get enough visitors. I don't yet have the budget to advertise and get my website higher in the results. So I have to do it the longer way. Yeah, you're going to learn so much today. Let's see, Jessica. I completely did a rebrand and created a new website 10 months ago. Congratulations. Not too recently. Yep. I hope that not too much of an update needs to be done in that short of a time. Yeah. Let's see. Biggest frustration, not knowing if it looks professional enough or is what my clients really want to see. And that's really it. That's really it.
They're
And I
gonna
think we're
know.
gonna give some good insight there. Yeah, look at that face. Well, I'm gonna get out of here because everyone is here to learn from you and they want to get started with you. So Sari and I will be in the chat. Please, while we're going through this, please ask your questions. Please go ahead and talk about what you're hearing, what you're learning. Sari and I will be in the chat. We'll be making sure that not anything is missed so that when we're done with this, we can roll into some Q&A. We can get your questions answered. You can definitely take advantage of Nat being here today and get everything that you need from her. So with that, my friend, have fun. That's all I got. And
Sounds good.
take it away.
All righty. Let me share my screen. All right, let me share my screen and I think we're already on. Okay. Are we good? Katie, can we see
Yeah,
and read?
you look
Okay,
great.
perfect. Okay, so hi everybody. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about that gap between pretty and profitable, and we're going to talk a lot about. I saw a lot of answers on referral being your top one source of business. So we're going to touch on that a little bit and how you can take a little bit more control of your revenue. And this came up because I have worked with a few different people in the wedding industry, and this has always been a little bit of the question that comes up of like, okay, like is my website pretty? And I always tell them like, yeah, but like, is it working? Like, let's look at the data. Let's like, of people coming, like, how's your SEO set up? Like all of that stuff. And just recently I reach out to someone because, you know, I'm like known to do this. If I see something I like out there, I reach out to people and I told them, and I saw somebody had a website that was built so beautiful. Like it looked so cool. It was like Valentine's Day setup, themed. And I reached out to her and I was like, hey, your website is so cute. I just wanted to reach out. And she was like, I was actually just about to message you because although I do love my branding, nothing is happening. Like, why is that? So it's extremely common. That's not a problem that is unique to you. And that's what we're going to go through and talk about. And hopefully by the end of this, you're going to know exactly what the problem is, because I'm also huge in optimizing. We have limited resources, so we can't fix everything and, you know, the every time do everything. So it is so important that we know what's going on and what's going to drive the highest like return on investment for your time, and your money too, but mostly your time. Like, what should I be fixing first? So a little bit about me. Oh, I can use the keyboard. Hold on. So I'm Nat. I am a born fixer, even in my personal relationships. Whenever my friends come to me, I always ask them like, okay, do you want a solution, or do you want me to just listen to you? Because my default is to come up with a solution for everything. I have 10 years of corporate digital marketing experience, and I just recently quit to go full time on my business and help women and BIPOC owned businesses fix what's actually going wrong with their digital strategy and their website, and actually start seeing some incremental growth on their business. So the problem is, and I think this is a hard truth, that the longer you stay in business, the more, hold on one second, sorry. The longer you stay in business, the more you realize, and it is a hard pill to swallow, because you're always like, it's so nice to look at something that looks pretty, but unfortunately, something pretty, and I put there, or viral, because sometimes like this also holds true for social media, does not equal profitable. Just because you get a bunch of likes on an Instagram post doesn't mean that those likes are going to turn into consumers. And this is a little bit of what we're going to be talking about here too. And why this matters. A lot of you said that your number one source of business is referrals. And the two major things that can come with that is, one, you have a ceiling, right? Like your ceiling is as big as your bubble. And two, you can't control, like it's a scary thought to me that your business revenue is directly tied with whether somebody is actively talking about you at a party or not, or remembers to mention your name to someone else. That is a scary thing for me. And if you're not actively trying to win on search, then you've already lost half of that battle, which is the visibility portion. And then you have to take into consideration the next layer down, which is your user experience, which can make or break the way that people behave on your website. And that's not even something that people consciously think about often. It's just how they subconsciously feel on your site and what they think they should be doing. They're not going to be solving math on your site. So if you're not very clearly walking them through step by step, they're going to drop off. So we're going to talk about today the 4 archetypes that I have identified on the top 4 reasons why your website might be leaking some bookings, even though it looks good, or it's been optimized, or it's been professionally done. Even though there are 4 archetypes, we're actually only going to dive into 3 of them, and you're going to know why by the end of it. The first one is the invisible expert. So you are really good at what you do, but if people search for what you do without your name directly attached to it, then they don't find you, and your competitors win the entire search. And then you have the outdated authority, which are the people who have been in business for a while. You've grown, you're known in the industry, and your in-person presence, your in-person branding doesn't really match your digital assets. So when people find you online, they can't really justify the prices that they see or all of that. And then you have the beautiful brochure, which it looks great, but it does nothing. There's no conversion path for people to take. And then the last one is the operational bottleneck, which these are the people who built the plane as it was flying. It's full of bubble gum and barbed wire, and there's a lot of manual things going on that can slow you down, that can make you lose people because they fall through the cracks and you don't have a system. And that's the one we're actually not going to talk about a whole lot, because if you are in the rock paper coin community and you are using the platform to its full extent, then you already likely have a very clean automation. Like I said, the form is great, embeds like really great. So you should not be missing any actual leads coming in. Like people should not be actually falling through the cracks. The one thing that I will say here, though, is that I see a lot as a missed opportunity is if you do have an auto response set up for when people first send you a lead. So your initial email over saying that, hey, we got this, we'll get back to you. It is imperative that you give people something to do. Anything, whether it's like checking a blog post, signing up for a newsletter, like answering a questionnaire, looking at your portfolio, anything, because when people are sending out these lead requests, they're shopping around. The chances are they didn't just message you, they messaged a bunch of people. And this is your first and could be the last chance to get them to step fully into your world and get a little more involved. If you just send an email back that says, hey, thanks, we got it, we'll get back to you in 48 hours. Okay, like you could be just completely like going in one ear and out the other. And then now the other competitor who sends them like a pretty something or a blog post that is useful for the wedding or a little freebie or like anything, now they're kind of hooked on that brand a little more. So that's the only thing I will say here. So I have a little chat prompt for this one before I dive into each type, because I want to see how things change. So just looking at the names and the initial descriptions, when I say those 4 names, which one feels different? Like which one feels like you're being called out? Let me open the chat here. Oh, I don't know how to open the chat. Oh, there it is. On the side. Okay. So one. Invisible. Okay. Yeah, that one tends to be really popular. All right, we're going to dive into each one of them. First, we're going to walk through the telltales of each one of them so you can get a little more like, is this who I am, or another one? And then we're going to give you, after each telltale, I'm going to give you 4 like items that you're going to take as homework to do this week, if that's you. So the first one is the invisible expert. This one tends to be the most common one. And your Instagram is beautiful. You have all the reviews. They're a little scattered across all the different listings. People who know your name know you're the freaking best and you're so exceptional at what you do. But if somebody Googles what you do, where you do it, you don't show up anywhere. Another telltale of this one is if referrals slow down, you really feel it. There's no pipeline that can catch up to that gap. And then the last one, this one, and I'll explain why, but your reviews are scattered across directors. Like you have reviews on the Nah, you have reviews on Wedding Wire, you have reviews on Google, and they just kind of live everywhere. If this is you, The first thing you should be doing is not only claim it, but also completely fill out your Google business profile. This is free. You should be utilizing it as much as possible. You got to make sure that you have photos, you have hours, you have the service areas that you service, your website link with a tracking code so you know when people come from there. And you're actually going to have couples leave a review there. I know you really love your the not review, but here's the thing, Google cannot read those. So it cannot support and verify your authority. Like you can say all day long that you have 500 reviews on the not, but if they're not on Google, Google doesn't care about that. So make sure that at least some of your reviews end up on Google as well. The second one is renaming your images. So Google can't see images. It reads the data behind it, including the name. So if your images are all named IMG4872 or your alt tag is like a string of numbers, that doesn't tell Google anything. So I need you to this week go to your website, pick the top 10 images, probably on your homepage or your services page, and then name them things that are unbranded. So it includes what you do, includes wedding, and includes the city that you're in. That will actually tell Google, like, support more about who you are and what you do and where. Number 3 is your homepage H1. So just a quick explanation of what H1s are. When humans read a text, like for example, when you're looking at this slide, you read the top thing first. That's going to give you a pretty good idea of what this slide's going to tell you about. And then you have the subheaders, right? Google profile, and then you can kind of process it. So H1 is the tag that goes behind sentences on your website that helps Google do that, digest what's going on your website. It doesn't necessarily needs to be the bigger piece, but whatever you put as your homepage H1 needs to be extremely clear. There's a trend going on right now where people are using all these like whimsical and clever and witty headlines, which are so cute, but they don't tell Google anything. Like, for example, if you are a photographer and you say bringing color to your day as your H1, Google has no idea. Google's going to be like, what is this, a painter? Like, I don't know what that means. So something extremely clear, like Nashville wedding florist or South Florida luxury photographer, cinematic photographer, these are going to do so much more for your ranking than a lot of time that you spend on like social media or your whimsical, witty stuff. You can still have that there, just don't tag that as your H1. So go on your website, go in the back end, see what's tagged as your H1 and make that super clear. And then the last one is consistency. So Google thrives on signals. So you need to pick one version of your business name, your address, your URL, everything, and use it everywhere. And it needs to be identical, like not similar, identical. Like if your business address, if you use a comma after the city before the state, do that everywhere. Like I'm talking the same, because if Google is pulling information from different parts of the internet and the information is inconsistent, it's not going to see you as trustworthy, and it is going to ping you, and it's going to kill your SEO strategy too. So the beautiful brochure, this one is all about conversion path. This one is the site that was built completely on looks. Looks incredible, but the couples just land on there. They scroll, they admire, they go, wow, this is beautiful. And then they leave because subconsciously you didn't tell them what to do. They need to be told what to do. So a couple telltales: your homepage does not have a clear call to action above the fold. And above the fold, I mean, when you first open a website, before you scroll anywhere, is there anything on there that is telling them what they need to be doing next? Second thing, on the positioning, the brand positioning, go through your homepage and your about page and your testimonials and count how many times you talk about I versus you. If your copy is talking primarily about you, I do this and I have this credential and I make sure the couples are X, Y, and Z, then you're talking at your couples. And then as they're reading that, they don't really see themselves as your client. They are just reading a newspaper about who you are. And then the last one is your contact form. Like, be honest with yourself. Like, go through your contact form. Is it like helping you qualify leads, or is it so long that it's becoming a barrier and people just like bounce out of there? If that feels like you, here are the 4 things that I want you to do. The first one is put that call to action above the fold, and the call to action needs to be action driven. So people need to know what's going to happen after they click the button. And if you have seen me talk about this, I have such a huge issue with learn more, because I think learn more is such a cop out. It doesn't tell me anything. Learn more about what? Like, yeah, of course, I'm here to learn what you do. So remove all the learn more from your website and actually make the call to actions action driven about them. So whether it's, put a typo in there, reserve your date or start planning your date or anything cutesy like that, it needs to be like action driven about them. No learn more. Take all the learn more away from your website. Second one, rewrite your homepage and testimonials and as much as you can about them. For example, if you're even for the reviews, you don't have to put every single review on your website, and you don't have to put the entire review either. You can pluck portions of it out and make sure that you're putting the stuff on there that focus on how people felt after they worked with you or how they felt on their special day working with you. I see a lot of reviews that are like, oh, Ashley was so calm, or like Katie is so nice, which is great, but that doesn't help me picture why I should be working with you and how I'm going to feel afterwards. And then I need you to go ahead and fix your contact form. There's a sweet spot, which is like 5 to 7 fields where you get enough information to qualify that lead, but it's easy enough to finish on a phone because that's how most people are when they're wedding planning. They're laying down on their bed before bed and they're like scrolling. So it needs to be easy enough. If it's 15 questions long, people are not going to fill it out. They're just going to go somewhere else. And then make sure that there is a call to action on every page and almost every section, because especially if you have pretty long pages, think about it. Like, people could get the hunch that this is it and I need to contact this person at any given time, and they have to have that right there. The last thing you want is to create more friction and have people like have to like frantically scroll up to the top to find the contact button. So make sure that it doesn't have to be every single section, but almost every section has a way to move on to the next level. Okay, just looking through the notes here, see if there's any questions. All right. Okay. So the last one that we're going to talk about is the outdated authority. So this is the one that feels like there's a gap between who you were when you first built this business and where you are now, or where you want to be in 3 to 5 years. Because like I said, if you build it right, you ain't got to build it twice. So you want to build it in a way that is supporting not only where you are now, but it can grow and scale with you, and you're not going to feel like you're being left behind by your own brand. There's like these 3 telltales here, but I think the biggest one is if you feel like you have to defend yourself and you have to defend your prices when you hop on a call with couples, there's a gap. Because when couples are landing on your site, they get an impression of how much you're gonna, whether your prices are on the site or not, they get the impression right away of how much you're gonna be charging them based on what your brand looks like. If they get a number that doesn't feel justified, they're not, that's where the ghosting is going to be coming in. Or the other side of it is you're getting all these leads, but they're like under budget, or you can't make their dreams come true, like all that stuff. So your positioning is underselling you at this point, and there's a disconnect of the work that you do and how much you're charging and what people think you should be charging. Okay. So if this is you, a couple things that I would do right now is go to your portfolio and audit everything on there. It's very easy to put something on your website and forget it that you put there 3 years ago. Not everything that you've ever done needs to be on your website. You need to remove everything that does not reflect the clients that you want to work with, not even the clients that you're working with right now, who you want to serve. I know to me, this is like the hardest because this archetype, because it takes a lot of introspective work, because I think we're so proud of the brand that we built and we're so attached to that brand and that person and the work that we did when people gave us a chance and when we made our own logo and when we created our own stuff. It is hard to let go of that. But it is really important to be honest with yourself. Not everybody is in this bucket, but if you are in this bucket, you know that you need to be honest with yourself and take a step towards a different era of you. The second one is your value proposition. So it's I see that a lot. Like people just slap the word luxury everywhere and hope that that's going to justify your price, but it needs to go a little beyond that. Just the way that you position yourself and the entire copy of your website needs to tell the couple why you are worth their investment. Everything needs to justify the price that you're asking. So that might take some time to look internally and decide what that is for you. But you need to take a second and think about that a little bit. Everybody has that. You just need to find it. The third one is update your about page. Sometimes I read things that are like, oh, this business is 3 years old. And then when I actually talk to somebody, they're like, no, I've been in business for 13 years. And it's like, okay, well, your about page says you just started. So read it out loud and make sure that everything is accurate. And does it sound like who you are today and who you want to become instead of who you were 3, 5, 10 years ago. And then the fourth one, be so honest with yourself. Like look at the brand that you put together however many years ago, but does the color still speak to like who you want to serve, the fonts, the photography style, the logo, this, everything. Does it communicate the level that you're currently operating at, or is it time to rethink things? Make sure there is no questions.
I think we do have two. We have Jessica and Shailene, if you wanted to talk a little about those two.
Yeah, if you don't have a portfolio. How was your position? Yeah, that's a hard one. What hmm, why aren't they available for you to use? Or I would go back to a little bit of like the logistics of that and try to figure it out, because it is like you obviously you want to show, but you don't need a portfolio. One option that you can do is you can set up a branding photo shoot where you set up the table and people take photos of that, and that's can be used as your branding photo shoot and your portfolio. Like come up with ideas and set up your own table and have that to be taken photos of. That's a way of doing that. Second is I would look for um, stock photos that do not look super stock photos. So there's websites out there that are like there's dupe photos.com, and like there's like certain other ones that don't look super stocky. Obviously, you need to be like very clear that like these are not images of my work. Like you can put photos provided by or sourced by, whatever. But I think the branding photo shoot where you come up with the table setting or you come up with like whatever, and then grow from there. I think, there's no shame in starting. Like if you like you got to start somewhere. Not everybody, like in the beginning, they didn't have an entire portfolio to showcase. So you might need to get a little creative there. Jessica, who else? Shalene. I'm a little anxious about how difficult it might be to transfer my domain your website to a new domain. Do you mean like you're changing the name of your business and you're going to a new domain, or are you changing your domain to like a different platform? Because I'll give you the two answers. So okay, so you would create a redirect. So essentially, you're still going to need to own the other website, and then you create a redirect. It's called a 301 redirect, where when people type the name of your old business, it will redirect them to the new one. And it's going to be a process, but eventually Google understands that 301, like if this old website, this old name now belongs here. It's a slow. So if nobody knows the old business, then the only thing I would be concerned about is if you already have a lot of SEO value on the old URL, I wouldn't just drop it. But if you have built a website and there's a little bit of SEO value, there's like traffic coming in and all that, then I would create a 301 redirect to make sure that Google understands the connection. And then eventually that whatever the authority lived on that old domain gets passed on to the new domain. But if you're just rebranding and nobody knows and you don't have a website and you don't have anything like of value there, then it's like starting from scratch. I wouldn't be concerned about that. I would only be concerned if you already have something hefty. Yeah, just do a 301 redirect and Google understands it. It will understand. It will not be instant, so don't expect it to be like, oh, okay, it's done. But Google understand, like it will start understanding that the old domain now is this domain. So okay. Okay, so I know this was a lot of information. So I wanted to reassure everybody that I'm not telling you to just scrap everything, throw it in the trash, and start from zero. I'm also not telling you to do everything all at once. The name of the game here is refinement. We're here for the long haul. Nobody's trying to get like quick wins that go up and down. So you need to find that one priority that will move you to the next level so that you can put that in the back burner and then move to the next one. So a couple ways to do that. This is just a very quick checklist for you. It's very, very hard to audit yourself because you're so into your business. So take a day where you're clear-minded and you can step out of your own bubble for about 10 minutes and Google yourself. Send yourself an email through your inquiry form. See how things work, because we get so embedded into our own work that we forget to check those little things. And then even through that small process, you're going to be able to pick out exactly what's costing you. You're going to find little things here and there that you're like, oh, I don't like that. And you're going to be able to fix exactly what's not working. And if you still go through that and you're like, I can't really pinpoint where I need to start. This is a little gift that I put together just for this community, and it's a scorecard audit that will walk you through the exact questions that you should be thinking about your website, and we'll go through 4 different sections. and you will answer, and it's free. It takes about 5 minutes to do. And at the end of it, it's going to give you like a school letter grade, like from A to F, um, on what you should be doing first. So it's going to tell you what's ranking the worst and what's the first thing you need to do to fix it. At the end, I think Katie is going to drop that link to this audit. So make sure you bookmark, because it's not anywhere out there on the internet. So once she sends the link, bookmark it, come back when you got some time, and that should help clear things up for you if you're still struggling to kind of audit what the issue is. And this is just a review of my sweet Monica, who after we worked together, I think this was like maybe a month or two after we worked together, she sent this email and she's like, I have so much going on in my life and my RPC inbox is flooded, and I can't keep up with it. So great problem to have, but this is just an insight on what could happen when you actually put in the work, like on the foundational part of your website, and not focus so much on the colors and the fonts. And obviously that stuff needs to look good, but this is what happens when you actually put in the work to keep that foundation strong. And that concludes it. So I'm going to stop sharing and let Katie take the floor.
Well, that was awesome. I was like trying to keep up in the chat. People were soaking it in and then chatting and like all the things. So I think that was really, really, really great. As you know, we always really try to bring tangible education to these webinars, because there is nothing worse than like wanting your 45 minutes back because you signed up for something that sounded really good and then you got there and you were like, okay, but like, where's the goods? You brought the goods, and this was amazing. With the replay, we will be obviously sending out the link to that audit. So no worries there, everybody. And then, of course, you'll get the replay. And then will they have access to these slides too? Is that something else that they'll have access to?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can send it.
Great. So you'll also
Yeah.
have access to those, to the PDF here. Obviously, we just ask that because this was an exclusive education and this is Nat's work. We do just like keep it to yourselves. Please don't post it anywhere or like share it anywhere. This was amazing that she put this together for us, and we do want to value her time and her craft. But you did so great. We always have the best Q&A. We have more Q&A that's coming in. We had Q&A that was sent in with registration. I want to make sure that we get to those, because I think that there's just so many more answers that people are going to get when we dive into that Q&A. But first, I want you to kind of tell everyone about how they can work with you, or how they can at least continue learning from you. Can you dive into where people can do that?
Yes. So if you just want to keep learning about SEO, I do not shut up on my socials. I will talk and talk and talk. And I'm passionate about education. So I really like to bring content forward that isn't just like work with me, but it's like teaching you things that you can do. So definitely follow me on social media. I'm always putting different content out there that can kind of help you navigate the digital space a little bit. If you do need a brand new website, I do work with people and develop SEO backed websites. So yes, we're going to make it look nice. But before we talk about colors and logos and fonts, we're going to talk about numbers. So if you're into analytics and data and search volume and all the good stuff, then we're going to talk a whole lot about that and make sure that everything is set up correctly. And then we build a website, and I work in packages. So I have like a 5-page or a 7-page website package. Most people are fine with the 5-page. And then I also work with digital strategy only. My background is on marketing analytics, and I love that. So if you do not need a new website, but you just need somebody to really come in and do a full audit of your digital presence, that's something that I love to do. I love talking data. But yeah.
Love. Um, okay, let's jump in here. And I did really love that we also have, we have RPC community here. We have people that are current users, we have people that are not current users, we have people that have heard about us that have never heard about us. I think there's nothing greater than having someone like actually here and like in the comments who's like, yeah, like I use both things. I use RPC. I also have used Nat. So I just think it's a huge credibility to the work that you do. So thank you so much again for sharing that with us.
Yeah,
Um, I want to dive into this Q&A here.
let's
So,
do it.
um, let's see. Is there a favorite website template you suggest we use or a layout when building a new site to attract more luxury and elevated clients?
Um, the short answer is no, because like think about that. If you're trying to attract luxury and high-end clients and you're talking about a template, those two things go very against each other. I think templates are great when you're starting, but if you're trying to elevate, I would be careful with those. I have done like template customization for people before that look so beautiful, but I had to completely redo the SEO portion behind it just because the H1s were all like the hierarchy was all messed up. And like, so I would be a little careful. I think when it comes to like a conversion path type of template, if that's what they're talking about, then yes, you need the first things first are going to be about your client. So your hero portion needs to be about them. It needs to be very clear what you do, where you do it, and your value proposition. The next thing after that, it needs to be your services because that's what people are interested in. They need to
Yeah.
know right away, are these people offering what I need? So your services on the bottom. Then I would actually move into a very quick about you. Again, about you, but like really about them. And then testimonials for credibility and whatever else, like if you have like lead magnets or freebies or anything like that. And I always like to end a website with a value-based CTA, which is kind of if somebody has gone to the end of your page, they're interested, they just need a little umph. So don't waste that space with the call me. Like, no, it
Yeah.
needs to be a really strong value-based CTA.
Or nothing, right? It's like you've gotten to the end of the page and you're like, really? Like, I just
Yeah.
invested
You're
all
like,
this
that's it.
time and went on this journey and like there's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely end with like a really strong, like I like to say, like whatever is gonna tug at their heartstrings, right? Like
Yeah.
make them go, wow, yeah, I need that.
I love that. Okay, what is the biggest mistake experienced service providers make when repositioning their website during a rebrand? For a high ticket service business, what pages or messaging have the biggest impact on converting qualified leads into consultation requests?
That was a long question. Hold on, let me
I
think
know.
about it.
I know.
Okay, so my first thought is thinking that you just need to like and I talked about this, but slapping the word luxury everywhere. Like just think about your clients that are high end. They just are high end. They're not searching for luxury. They just know what they want. So I think as you rebrand, think about who you served that you want to serve more of, and think about the things that they said they like about you. So those are the people like the little nuggets, like pay attention to what they're saying about you, right? Like whether they say like, oh, I love how this is like whatever. Oh, I love that you said this. Oh, I love that you present yourself as X, Y, and Z. And that's going to be the legs of your rebrand, not luxury. Because wealthy people aren't searching for luxury. They just know who they are and what they
Right.
want, period.
That's brilliant. Thinking about it that way is brilliant. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay, curious about AI, SEO, and SEO in general. I'm a wealth embodiment coach, aka money mindset coach, And my goals are to call in more one-on-one clients and lead workshops for women's communities. Any ideas?
Yeah, so I'm not anti-AI, but the thing that I always remind people with AI is it's not a person with unique thoughts. Your results are going to be as good as your prompt, right? Or as good, like it's not going to just give you stuff out of thin air. So you can use AI to refine your SEO strategy, but you need to know what you're asking for. So I would start with making sure that you know what you're asking, you know what you're researching. AI doesn't have access to certain tools like that can give you information on like search volume and keyword difficulty and all that stuff. So make sure that you also do the legwork to get that data and then use AI to refine it, not come up with, everything from thin air for you, because the way that AI works is, think about it, it's just digesting everything that is out there on the internet and it's giving you back the middle range that is safe. So if you're just asking it to come up with something for you, it's gonna give you like a mid-tier approach.
Yeah, it's going to give you what you ask it
Yeah.
for. Like it's not going above and beyond. It's not creating something for
No.
you. It's creating something that already exists and someone has already put in there.
Yeah. So the way I use AI for SEO is like I'll download a list, like a list of, you know, like hundreds of keywords that has like, so it's like a huge set of data, and I throw it in there and I tell it to pick out exactly what I want, like any search volume that it's above X, Y, and Z, and keyword difficulty that is below X, Y, and Z. And then I have it digest for me, but I'm not having it come up with, the strategy for me. So just be careful with that. Like I'm not anti-AI, but you just got to throw in the right prompts in there.
That's right. Bumper rails.
Yeah.
Someone asked on the AI train, do you make a point of including specific structured data markup to make it easier for AI bots to show your website in their results?
Yes. And everybody needs to, well, a couple things for AI. One is schema markup, which is the structured data. Um, AI, like, can machines read your website without schema markup? Yes, but it prefers schema. So if you don't have that, there are tools out there that can help you build the schema and teach you how to put in there. So definitely make sure you have schema markup in your website for that. But then also AI loves numbered processes. So whatever you can put it in there. It loves data. It loves, because it likes to just extract easy stuff. So if you're going for AI visibility, then yeah, have statistics, have like stuff that you can refer back the numbers, numbered processes, like all that stuff.
And if all of this is another language and you have no idea, this is another reason why you need to hire someone instead of just buying a template. Um, how do I get clients to respond after I send a proposal? Everything is always negotiable. I just wish they would talk to me instead of vanishing. And I know that you went over this a little bit, but maybe is there just a little bit more advice, or just even morale that you want to offer
Yeah,
this
I
person?
mean, that's gonna happen. It's just, I mean, it happens with me. Like people just vanish off. Even I had a really like warm referral that came from my father-in-law, like really tight connection, and they just disappeared after the meeting. So it's gonna happen, and it's not about you. Like we have to remember that rejection is just simply a mismatch of what work like priorities, mismatch of priorities. But if it's happening over and over and over again, I would take a look at a couple things. One, how is your proposal being sent? Is it too convoluted? Is it giving too many options? Because there's also that, like there's the whole story of the, I actually don't know if this is common knowledge, but there's that whole metaphor of there's two ice cream shops. One has three ice cream flavors and one has 100 ice cream flavors. And the one with three ice cream flavors always sell out because people go to the 100 ice cream flavor and they go, oh my God, I don't know what I want because I could have the strawberry, but I could also have the vanilla, but I could also, so then they just walk out, right? So are you giving them too many options and then they're getting like overwhelmed and leaving? Or are you having an issue where people are expecting to get a certain price from you and then they're not getting it? Is there a gap between your brand positioning and your actual prices? So if it happens all the time, I would take a look at like something a layer deeper.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. I know we're short on time, so I just want to make sure that we're asking something that we haven't asked already. Um, how do you feel about putting your prices on your website, especially when they're high ticket? Do you feel like it creates sticker shock, or does that help get clients you feel happy to work with?
I am pro price on the website, but I understand that that's a preference. When I was getting married, I hated that I had to email everybody to get prices because I'm in a time crunch, right? I just need to know whether I can afford you or not. But that's a preference. I'm pro putting prices there, at least a starting price, so that people know what to expect. Like something that even if it's like, oh, that's the what I get always the time is like, oh, but my packages are customizable. And I'm like, okay, then put a starting price because then at least whatever is below that, if people can't afford your lowest package, then why are you even trying to get their lead? Because
Yeah.
then you're just inflating or deflating your conversion rate, right? Like, yeah, you get 100 leads, but you convert two because people can't afford you. So that's my personal opinion, but I want to put out there that that's opinion days. That it's not going to change. It's not going to affect your SEO at all.
Great. I think this last one is a great one to end on. When do you know when it's worth investing in a website redesign?
I tell people all the time, it's so funny. People are like, do I need a website to start? And I'm like, no, you don't. Like, just have a place that people can land and send you a form. But I think when one, there's that weird feeling of like you meet somebody in person and they ask for your website and you get a little like, here it is. But, like that feeling, I always joke. It's like, remember when we were in high school and we would show our friends our crush and we would always preemptively say, like, he's cuter in person. Like,
Yeah.
if you get that feeling, then it might be the time. Also, if you're established and you just don't have the time, like there's a need, but you just don't have the time to do it yourself, or you don't have the knowledge to do it properly, then it's time. If you're just barely making by, or you just starting, or you just have one client, like you don't need it. Just get a cute little Google form that people can contact you or something like that. But if you're at a place where you're established and you kind of feel stuck, that's your cue to like start shopping around for some web designers.
Okay, so you either get the ick or you got the butterflies. Either one, it's
Yeah.
time. There it is. There it is. Yeah, my friend, thank you. Thank you
Thank you
for
so much.
truly, thank you for your incredible wisdom today. You
Yeah.
really, really brought such a relatable way of
Oh, I'm
talking about something
glad.
that's really scary for a lot of people. It's like they
Yeah.
get it and then they're afraid to break it, so they don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate your willingness to share and all the
Yes, of
time.
course.
You just really put in so much time into this. So I
My
really,
pleasure.
to everyone who joined us, thank you for showing up. The chat was chatting. I am so proud of you. You were doing great there. So thank you for showing up, for being here and investing in yourself and your business. We
Mhm.
know that your time is incredibly valuable. And so we hope that you are leaving this conversation today, remembering that every single business owner you admire was once standing exactly where you are today. So please keep going, keep going, keep going. And before you head out, be sure to register for our next RPC Money Talks with Kate from Work Well with Kate this month, because it's summer and we love to add in extra education for you to take advantage of while it's too hot for you to be out there. So you get a double RPC Money Talks this month. Kate is leading us in a hands-on lesson. Get this, all about your iPhone. Yes, your iPhone Masterclass is coming your way, and you are not going to want to miss this because we really are all still using our phones like it's 2010. let's be real, this is a safe space. We can admit it. So just imagine what you're going to learn here with all of the tools that are built into your phone that you can start using to run your business. So it's going to be incredible. The link is in there. You'll also get the link in the replay. All the links will be in the replay. Thank you again, Nat. Thank you everyone for being here. Have a great day, and we'll see you later.
Bye. Thank you.